The shootout began after a Chevy Suburban with a Washington state license plate was pulled over for an expired registration. The driver resisted a pat-down search, then opened fire. Police returned the fire, and during the hail of bullets, a man in a pickup truck was wounded as a slug passed through the cab. The two men in the Suburban sped away, but were seen later, at which time they fled on foot. A search stretched through yesterday and last night with no sightings. The two left behind several weapons, among them AR-15s and ammunition for those weapons. And that's what got Pope County, Arkansas authorities' attention regarding the Ohio case.
In our Mueller case, there are some AR-15s missing. There are some other weapons missing, ammunition. So when we found out about it, we checked with Ohio to find out what information they have. And at this point, the details were sketchy, but they are going to give us a complete inventory of what they find in the vehicle.
Bill and Nancy Mueller and her 8-year-old daughter, Sarah Powell, disappeared in January of '96. They had reportedly been on their way to northwest Arkansas for a gun show. They were gun exhibitors. Their bodies were recovered from Illinois Bayou near Russellville in June, 5 months later. The guns they were hauling to the show weren't recovered, but late last year, a man in South Dakota pleaded innocent to stealing a gun that was traced to the Muellers.
I'm satisfied that we have the two people who were directly involved with the murder of Bill and Nancy Mueller and little Sarah Powell.
With that, Prosecutor David Gibbons and Pope County Sheriff Jay Winters say their case is set. 3 counts of capital murder have been filed against Daniel Lee, alias Danny Lewis Graham, among other aliases. Graham's being held in Oklahoma, where he was arrested yesterday. He's fighting extradition to Arkansas. Authorities expect to have him extradited, though, within the next 30 to 60 days. Also charged with the murders of the Mueller family is Chevy Kehoe. Kehoe is in jail in Ohio following February's shootout with police. His trial there is set for December. Gibbons and Winters say they believe the two suspects set out from Washington State in early 1996 to come to Arkansas. Paint chips from the blue pickup they were traveling in was the final piece of evidence. Kehoe and Lee had been the prime suspects for about a year.
All along we knew, but until you get something to put it, and when you get the paint from the tape off the bodies that links to the truck, to the paint off the truck that they were driving at the time, you know, you get a real comfortable feeling about what you're doing.
Prosecutor Gibbons will ask for the death penalty. From Russellville, Bob Bray, today's THV This Morning.
I don't want no shit.
Chevy Kehoe and his brother Shane were captured on videotape allegedly trying to kill 2 police officers. Today, Chevy was indicted on federal charges for attempted murder. But that's not all Chevy and 2 others are charged with. They're also charged with trying to start a violent revolution.
That they were attempting to form an Aryan People's Republic. And in order to finance this revolution and establish this Aryan People's Republic, they were engaged in criminal activity.
The criminal activity includes kidnapping, robbery, and murder. The U.S. Attorney Paula Casey listed off an 8-count indictment against Chevy Kehoe, Daniel Lee, and Farron Lovelace. All 3 are in custody. The revolution the men were allegedly planning was funded through blood money. Bill and Nancy Mueller and her 8-year-old child were found dead back in 1996 in this Pope County bayou.
When we initially found the bodies, it was obvious to us this was a different type of situation that we had dealt with before.
Chevy and Daniel Lee allegedly killed them so they can steal their expensive guns and sell them for cash.
Does this trail lead to other militia groups?
I think that remains to be seen.
Does the trail lead at all to Timothy McVeigh?
I can't take it there.
There's speculation in 1995 McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber, and Chevy Kehoe may have met at Elohim City, a white separatist colony on the border of Arkansas and Oklahoma. Sources close to the investigation also say Chevy may have been planning his revolution with the help of the Turner Diaries. The novel was also allegedly used as a blueprint for McVeigh when he blew up the Mueller building, killing 168 people. Brian Black, today's THV.